Let's do some trading. Joe Tigay is a managing partner at Equity Armor Investments. He's down at the SIBO. Joe, you want to take a bite into BYND now, up 1%, and it's been pretty quiet for the shares like last quarter.
Yeah, I think actually options are a good way to get into this name if someone were so inclined to own this stock. It's extremely volatile. Like we saw yesterday, it was up 12%. It's been as high as what, over $200 and as low as $70 last week. So it's all over the place. There are people that love this story, people that love this this carbon footprint messaging that, you know, plant-based meat is going to be the way of the future. Now, there are other futuristic stocks that I can look at and point to and say maybe they have a case, because of course the valuation on this stock, even at only $80, $82 right now, is still astronomical compared to other meat companies, for example. So if you look at Tesla, for example, in 2014, 2015, people were saying then, you know, the valuations just don't make sense. This is a regular car company. Like, why are we paying this extreme price? And you know what? People, even as recently as this week, are still saying at $460 that it still doesn't make sense. Now, of course, it's come a long way from like $100 to there. But I think the difference, and the key difference there was Elon Musk, and there was a brand, and there was a reason to pay the premium price to get Tesla. Now with BYND Meat, if a Kraft comes in, if Tyson comes in, is there some reason why a customer is going to say, you know what, I'm going to pay a premium price to have this burger instead of another one? I just don't necessarily see that for the long term. I love the product. I love the carbon footprint. If we can get on this like with a good tasting meat alternative, I guess you could say, maybe there's a future there. But I don't necessarily think there's any reason to think that there's anything special about either the Impossible Burger or the BYND Meat. I think it's easily replicatable as soon as Kraft wants to, as soon as Tyson wants to, as soon as they're ready. They're gonna play in this space.
All right, here I got a theory for you. Right, we're going way away from stock talk here for a sec, but what's 1 minute in a 2-hour show? I don't think most people can tell the difference between like one grade of regular beef versus the other, because it's all delicious, Joe. But on the fake meat side, maybe if you've learned how to do it right to where it's tasty, maybe that's really unique. What do you think? I mean, right? You've got more of a value proposition, whereas all regular meat is tasty.
That's possible, but we're just talking about pea protein here. I mean, they're not reinventing the wheel, I guess you could say. You know, so yeah, they're making a better tasting vegetarian burger. It might be for some people who really think that, you know, the carbon footprint of meat is really harmful and they want a different way. So maybe that's the future, and that's what they're looking at here. For me, the valuation doesn't make sense, and like I said at the beginning, I don't necessarily want to recommend a trade here because it's just too volatile. Anything that I wouldn't trade myself, I wouldn't want to recommend. But I'm looking here, I think this valuation is too high. If I were going to play it to a long side, I'd be in it via calls. However, given the fact that we just had a pop, and given the fact that everything I've said about it, and I think that it is overvalued, I would rather play it short. I'd look at something in April. Looking at puts in April would be where I'd want to be.
Okay, and by the way, back to the market talk here. The vol has come way down in BYND Meat, right? You're looking at IVs around 60% down the expiry, down the option chain basically, with the exception of the weeklies on Friday, which are still pumped up to 100. It's at least cheaper to put on a trade like you're talking about if you do want to get downside exposure.
Oh, absolutely, and the reason I was actually talking about April is I want to see that 12-week cycle play out in Canada. See if people are actually coming in. You know, there is a meat alternative at Dunkin' Donuts currently. I've had it. You know, it is what it is. It's not bringing people to Dunkin' Donuts. If people aren't spending more when they get there.
Okay.
So I don't think it's going to be. I don't think McDonald's in Canada is going to be any big difference for that. I don't see it. It's going to be any big revolutionary game changer. I don't see it. I want to see this 12-week cycle play out. The hype take in. If there was maybe another pop, if we got up to $90, $100 for sure, that actually might bring me into the trade. I might want to look and nibble in for $100. I would for sure be looking at some April puts after that Canada experiment is done.
All right, you got it, Joe Tigay. Appreciate it. Fun chat, a little bit off the rails, but we got back on track. Yeah. Joe, joining us.
We got volatility though. You got the VIX expert. You got any questions about VIX?
We got to run. I'm going to catch you next time, Joe. Appreciate it, my man. Joining us
All right,
down
I'll be in the
from the
tomorrow.
SIBO. Joe Tigay from Equity Armor Investments.